and you just line your bit up and you drill it out. This is Gary with Another Handyman, and I'm here today at a house that's got an old lock on it that they don't have the skeleton key anymore. So it's like a rental for college folks. So they've asked me to put a new lock on it with a key lock. So what I'm going to do today is I've got my DeWalt doorknob jig, and I'm going to put that on there. Typical doorknob in a home is 2 1/8, and then the striker hole for the striker is about 1 inch. So I usually use this little jig. Pretty easy. Put it on there. Tighten it down real good. Make sure everything's lined up good. You can see that or not. The light in here is really terrible. So I'm trying to do the best I can with the light. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll get that drilled out, and we'll put just a standard bedroom doorknob on there is what we'll do, and we'll get them fixed up so they feel like they've got some security. This kit, this DeWalt jig, comes with the 2 1/8 inch bit. So basically that's on the door, and you just line your bit up and you drill it out, and you can go all the way through, or usually I flip the jig around if I need to do the other side of the door. The striker, it comes with a 1 inch bit as well for the striker hole, and that's all you gotta do. Drill bit just screws off the bit, and you put your other one on. You don't even have to change the drill bit out of the drill. You don't even have to take it out. So anyway, I'm gonna pause the video and get this drilled out, and then we'll show you the rest of it. All right, so we're back. So I got the doorknob hole drilled. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the striker bit on here. Just a 1 inch hole saw bit, that's all it is. So I'll leave it running while I do this one. Smoking. It gets really hot. It didn't drill all the way through. Not a big deal. I think it's enough that I just knock it out. Maybe not. One thing about these bits, they get clogged up, hard to get them out, and they get super hot. Oh, yeah, baby. Smoking hot. Alright, so that should be about it. Messed up the door, look at that. Drilled through the door because it was crooked. That's a mess. Alright, so took a little minute there. I did something that I actually have never done before. The drill bit, whenever I drilled the striker hole, you can see where I drilled it. These doors, these older doors, are not as thick as the newer doors. They're pretty close, but they're not as thick. And my jig was off just a little bit. So when I drilled this hole with this 1 inch bit, it almost came through on the outside. When I saw that happening, I turned the camera off just because I was like, oh crap, I don't know what I just did here. But anyway, and then I didn't turn the camera back on, but I've got it all patched up and everything with Bondo, so you can't tell it. You know, the drill bit just kind of scarred it, bubbled up the wood where it almost came through. You can't tell there's any issues or anything. I'll put a little bit of paint on there and it'll be fine. I've done a lot of work for this landlord, so it's all good. But anyway, so getting back to the video, I'm going to go ahead and put the striker in here. And I usually don't put the screws in the striker until I get the handle on. So basically the doorknob handle. They just fit into each other is what they do. Just like that. This is square. This piece is square and that hole square. And I usually just line it up until they fit right in. I'm going to put the keyed lock side on the exterior of the door. Anyway, we're going to put the striker plate on. We're going to put the striker on, sorry. So the striker has holes in it. We're going to take that, put it in there just like that. See how that is? And that's what works the lock, or the striker. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the door. And some of these are adjustable. Some of them have a way that you can take this and turn it, and it'll extend this out if you have a thicker door. Or you can turn it and put it back in if you have a thinner door. So this one actually has an adjustment. It's on the top. You press in a little button and pull it back or slide it in. So anyway, but that's what I'm doing here because I know the camera view is kind of bad. I apologize for that. I'm trying to use my tablet. So. There we go. That's in there. It's in there backwards. So we got that. And there's just 2 screws go in here. I usually just try and start them by hand. Get them started. Just little Phillips head screws. Sometimes these can be really aggravating. Sometimes they just go right in. So these seem like they went right in. So now I'll just put 2 screws in for the striker. That way it's automatically kind of lined up. That's why I put them in last. Because sometimes they can, if you put them in first, it'll kind of throw off your alignment on your doorknob. So there you go. So one thing I do whenever I go to mark the striker plate is usually I'll take a pencil and I'll put a little bit of graphite on it. I'll just write on the lock. Take the door lock. I'll just close it and rub it back and forth a little bit. And see, put a mark right there. So I'm just going to look at these holes. See where my striker is at. My striker is about in line with that. Okay. Another thing you can do is you can also take the door and go to close it. Get the striker out. And you know right where it goes. So see here, I know you probably can't see this. Let me this closer for you to see. So right there, my 2 lines, that's the upper part of the striker, that's the bottom part, and then that's the center where I just rubbed on it. So I'll drill my hole right here in the center. I'll get it lined up with these holes down here from the old lock. I'll drill a hole in there, and that's where the new door striker will go. Camera work. I know it's terrible. I basically just traced out the hole in the striker plate so I'll know where to drill. And a typical striker plate on a residential home is 1 inch, and I usually just take a paddle bit to drill that hole. You only need to go in about halfway, just so the striker plate will fit. And that's all you got to do. I don't know on that plate if I'll have to mortise or reset it in or not, just because of the way the door jamb is. So there you go. Nice